Welcome to Rediscover the Verde Valley. I'm Christian Oliva Del Rio. I'm the president and CEO for the Cottonwood Chamber of Commerce. And I've got some great guests here with me today. I've got Brenda Clauston, who's the president of the Old Town Association and also the owner of Colt 804 Grill.
Yes.
Right? And also is Jim Areola, who is the owner of the Red Rooster Cafe and has stepped up as treasurer for the Old Town Association.
Yes.
Yeah, welcome both of you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks.
I'm so excited about the things we're working on together, and great opportunity here for us to share with the community, you know, what's going on with the Old Town Association.
Great.
Some of the areas I'd like to start with is, and I know you don't feel very comfortable with this, but I want you to tell me a little bit about yourself, your history, your background here, and you know what brought you to Cottonwood and Old Town.
Okay. Not too exciting, but I have a history in broadcast journalism and hospitality.
That's pretty exciting.
Not really. So I actually design buildings. So
Wow.
I'm a professional interior designer, and so I enjoy that very much, and brought those skills to the hospitality industry, designing restaurants and wineries and tasting rooms, that kind of thing. I'm originally from the Central Coast in California, a small cattle town people probably don't even know about, but I also have Creston.
Oh, you're right. I don't know Creston, but I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Oh,
and I've been to Coalinga a lot.
All right, so that's similar.
Central Valley, right?
Yeah. I also have roots on the East Coast. I have family in North Carolina, and love it back there too. So I have a strong sense of hospitality. I believe strongly in hospitality and camaraderie among merchants and in tourism and inviting people into your business and giving them a great experience. So that's what I'm bringing to Old Town and feel passionate about.
Yeah. How long have you been in the area here?
I've been in the area about 5 years.
Right.
And we moved here for family.
Oh,
so my husband's family all lives here. And so we've been slowly coming to Cottonwood, which we're very excited about.
So you've been exposed to it for a little while.
Yes. Yeah.
Great. So Jim, tell us a little bit about your background.
Sure. Well, I grew up in Pittsburgh, moved to New York City after college. It was my only job offer, so I took it. Been there for most of the last 30 plus years.
Wow.
My nephew Shane started the Red Rooster. It was the F stop in Old Town. It was closed. Bought the business, started as a restaurant with Jet, and so I've been visiting him for the last 10 years, on and off. And then Jet wanted to sell her portion. I bought her out a few years ago. I've been visiting even more after that, and actually moved here with my husband Joey a year and a half ago to Jerome.
Yeah.
Love Jerome.
Excellent.
Love Old Town.
Was the Red Rooster originally up in Jerome?
It was Jet's restaurant in Jerome, and then it was closed for a couple of years, and then when Shane was looking at buying the F stop, she partnered with him, so they did the Red Rooster thing. Now she's actually at Riot. She left 4 years ago, but so yeah, it was originally in Jerome now, and we have still a huge local following, I'd say.
Yeah.
A lot of our customers are there 5 days a week.
Right.
And then also, you know, I'd say it's half tourists and half locals, but it's a nice local following, and I give my nephew credit for keeping it open for the last
That's excellent.
10 years. That's something in the restaurant business.
Right.
An accomplishment.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's not always easy to run a business. It takes a lot of dedication, and I know that both of you are very dedicated to your businesses. And you know, I feel the hospitality in both of your restaurants when I come in. So that's a great thing. So, you know, so you both have stepped up to support the Old Town Association. Who are some of the other board members that have recently
we've got a great board. Debbie Garrison is our secretary. She keeps us all in line with parliamentary procedure and all the specific articles that we need to do. Then there's also Mitch Levy. Debbie's our secretary. Mitch Levy is with Burning Tree Cellars one of our vice presidents. The other vice president is Gavin Galifant, and he's with Winery 101. And Jim and myself.
Right, that's excellent. So
5 of us.
Keeping it simple, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So, so tell us a little bit more about your business. What exactly do you do, and what kind of food? And
so I have a casual barbecue grill.
Right.
It's a made from scratch menu. We specialize in smoked meats. So
it's delicious, and when you're walking through Old Town, it drives you nuts.
It smells really good. Yeah, so we have a full bar too, so we do handcrafted cocktails, and right now we're doing a special called bourbon cider, which is a handmade apple cider with spices and a little whiskey in it.
Nice.
So, yeah.
You guys recently introduced breakfast too, right?
We do have a country breakfast,
Right.
thank you. Made from scratch country breakfast, big portions, jalapeno cornbread, eggs Benedict. Pancakes.
Nice. So that's from your southern roots, right? So.
It is. Yes, I do like myself a good southern breakfast.
Right. It's wonderful. It's great food. So.
Thank you.
And Jim, I love coming into your restaurant too, especially a good cup of coffee in the morning and a great
the best coffee and one of the two best
Mm-hmm.
coffees in all time.
Right.
And Fire Creek coffee now. It's pretty good.
And we're breakfast and lunch. It's kind of I'd say comfort food, maybe with an Arizona slant to it.
Right.
Great.
I love that thick cut bacon on those sandwiches.
Good bacon, good sausage. We try to do as much locally sourced things as we can. Lettuce comes from the aquaponics place in Camp Verde, and sometimes the eggs come from some of our customers.
Yeah. Nice.
Who have chickens.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Right.
Do our best to support the local, stock local wines and beers too from that brewery and other places like that.
That's excellent. So. And you've got this wonderful room in the back that a lot of people maybe don't know about. And I know that personally, we've come in with staff and had our staff meetings there. It's a great location.
People do come and hang out with laptops, kind of almost like a Starbucks, or have little small meetings at lunch, because there's a big back room that seats about 40, and it's got a
a lot of times
tables.
you come in, you see the front, and it's a little bit crowded, but it's nice to be in the back and a little bit quiet, and you can get some work done. I often see you sitting back there getting your work done. So
a lot of paperwork.
Good deal. So let's talk a little bit more about the Old Town Association.
Okay.
What is it? Why do we need it? What's it all about?
Well, the Old Town Association is to promote tourism growth, but also to foster the entrepreneurship of merchants.
Okay.
We are a historic district, but we're filled with merchants who are entrepreneurs, who have that spirit, who are working long, hard hours in their businesses, and really trying to make a go of it. And we're also wanting to promote Main Street America.
Right.
That is something that is challenged right now, given the big box stores and Amazon. It's very easy to forget that if we don't keep our Main Street growing and flourishing, that the charm of America could very well fall away.
Right.
We all know as we travel across the country, the places that we want to go to are the ones where the Main Street is flourishing.
Right.
That's
where the action is.
Yeah,
it's the heartbeat of the town.
But it hasn't always been that way. So I moved here in '94, and I can tell you that Old Town, the sidewalks rolled up at 5 back. And it's only been probably in about the last 10 to 15 years.
It was a little sketchy about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a couple businesses opening, but there's also the Iron Horse was the Sundial, and it was like a crack motel.
Right.
The tavern was a gym, and it was different than it is now.
Absolutely. And it's taken the entrepreneurs like yourself to come in and change that vibe. So
what I really like about it is it's 2 or 3 or 4 blocks where you can walk to different places. You don't have to drive from place to place. When I moved here, I either wanted to live in Old Town Cottonwood or in Jerome, because I wanted to be able to walk somewhere.
Sure. Yeah.
Have dinner and walk home.
Right.
And not have to drive after drinking or whatever. It's also, that kind of environment. Coming from New York, where you walk everywhere. I wanted to be in a place, like Old Town. It's a place where you make friends, because you walk around, you see the same couple thousand people. Right. Over the years, and you kind of make friends just because you see the familiar faces. So that's what I think is really good about Old Town. And the Old Town Association is kind of what helps, help foster the businesses to keep, just keep open, but also have events to promote Old Town. I like the fact that there's really no chain stores.
Yes.
I don't have anything against chain stores. I go to them all the time. But
it's all mom and pop type shops.
Yeah, it's all small places.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Definitely got the charm and the vibe of maybe a big city, not quite like New York, but
kind of. It's like a vibe of a city neighborhood.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So love it.
I was going to say that I recently had the opportunity to go to each business because I was handing out these flyers,
right?
And or Safe Knife flyers, and It's amazing the beautiful merchandise and the food and the wine
that is
in Old Town.
Right.
I don't think people realize, and I'm hoping that this segment illuminates them to the fact that there is so much shopping downtown at items of beautiful quality. I was pleasantly, I wouldn't say I was surprised, I was shocked how much good merchandise and beautiful things there are. The artwork, there's so much to offer in Old Town.
It's great.
Yeah, it really is.
So we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
And when we come back, we'll talk some more about Old Town, okay?
Good.
That's good.
Thank you. Come on back and see us.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
There are people who struggle with addiction and homelessness. Sometimes it may feel like there is nothing we can do to help.
But there is. You can make a tax-deductible donation and help those in need transition away from homelessness. When you give someone a handout, you could actually be supporting an addiction.
A better life starts with better health, especially for those living in the streets.
Support solutions, not addictions. You can make a difference. Visit cottonwoodcares.com.
Welcome back to Rediscover the Verde Valley. I'm Christian Oliva Del Rio, President and CEO for the Cottonwood Chamber. And again with me is Brenda Clouston and Jim Areola, and they're both representatives from the Old Town Association. And just before the break, we were talking about, you know, how far Old Town has come, and a lot of the unique shops and restaurants and tasting rooms and everything down there. It's got such a great vibe.
It does.
And so, you know, tell me a little bit more. Can you tell me a little bit about maybe the history of the association itself? And, you know, I think it started in '93. And
yeah, and I believe '93.
Right.
It's gone through some ups and downs, and we're really interested in expanding the membership. So I'm hoping that people who are watching this could even be associate members. It's only $30 to join, $45 for an associate membership, which is like a friend of the Main Street Association. And other Main Street associations have a huge membership of just people who want to help.
Right.
They don't necessarily have to be in Main Street.
Right. They could potentially volunteer for some of the events, or
just support the work that we're doing down there.
Exactly, because it's important to support these small nonprofit organizations, especially one like our Old Town.
Exactly.
It helps bring that tourism in. It helps bring different community events in. It's important to support these organizations.
It definitely is, and the application is on our website. oldtowncottonwood.org. So you want to go on there and just click on it and fill it out, send it in.
Right, that's great.
Yeah,
so
easy.
Tell me a little bit more about membership. So we've got, I think we were talking roughly 40 or 60?
We have 41 members,
41 members
including
currently.
associate members.
And Jim, you were just saying, you know, that's you don't even realize there's that many.
If you drive down those two or three little blocks, you wouldn't even think there's 60 businesses there, but there are.
Yeah,
there's a lot of little shops.
Right,
so.
And so it's important to get a lot of those merchants down there supporting each other and helping each other, and you know.
Yeah, we want to support the businesses individually, and in order to do that, we have to have a sense of camaraderie and hospitality between each other. And so that's one of the things that I feel strongly about as president, is getting people to understand that we need to work together.
Right.
And you know, there's been issues in the past. We weren't there, so we don't know. But just the, you know, just little bits and pieces of talking about how there were different fractions, and that's just not helpful.
It's not.
And we want to definitely provide a fresh
right.
fresh
Well, since you brought that up, let's talk a little bit about that, because you know, what we've discovered is all ships rise with the tide, right? So if we all come together and work together,
yes,
we can accomplish great things. And so,
absolutely,
you know, recent news was, you know, there were some issues, and I think it's important for people to really understand that the Old Town Association itself was a victim in this crime.
That's actually how I got on the board. Is
right.
Someone asked me to come to the annual meeting.
Right.
You know, it's today. You got to come because you know things are in transition. So there was theft from a board member. She disappeared.
Right.
And the board was kind of dormant for 6 months after that came to light. And we had this annual meeting, and Brenda and myself and the 5 others were elected on the kind of a new board with some new energy. There's some alumni members, and I don't know if you were on the board before or not. I wasn't.
I was sort of on the board, but we didn't have a lot of meetings, and I wasn't an officer. But
so we're not, as far as the accounting, we're, Christian is our fiduciary, and now we're getting an actual accountant for oversight. We're actually meeting later today to start to interview accountants to just keep us on the up and up to make sure, we have oversight. So there's probably a little bit of maybe people have turned off or suspicious about the Old Town Association. I just want to, say the new board is very much trying to keep things transparent, on the up and up.
Right. We're holding accountability is a big deal, I think, and so we've actually met with the city and the city council, because they do, or in the past they have provided a good portion of the budget for the Old Town Association. And so we made an agreement with the city that we would work together, partner.
That's right.
And
and we're adopting some of the chambers and the city's, oversight policies,
policies and procedures,
whistleblower
and
policies, things like that, to make sure things run the way they're supposed to, and things have proper oversight. And
It's a real challenge to have to run your own business and then step up and do this. So I applaud both of you and all of the other board members for actually stepping up and saving this important organization. I think it's vital to our community.
It's an all volunteer board.
It is.
So we're doing it just for the glory.
Well, it sure isn't the paycheck, right? But I sure do appreciate you guys,
Well, we appreciate you and the chamber's involvement.
It's been, we're going to do wonderful things together. I'm excited. Just over the last few months, I've seen so much progress moving forward, and you guys all willing to really make this work. So
we have a lot of good energy on the board.
We do. It's excellent. So let's talk a little bit more about some of the events, and maybe moving forward what we're expecting to see come out of the Old Town Association.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, tonight, or by the time people out in TV land see this, it won't be tonight, is Safe Night, that we're giving out candy to all the little trick-or-treaters. And I'm guessing about 20 to 30 businesses are participating.
It's excellent. I know there's pretty close to $3,000 worth of candy
alone,
right?
Going out.
That's a lot of candy.
Yes, I made the mistake of opening the box in my office yesterday. I'm like,
oh no.
I got dibs on the Hershey's Special Dark.
I'm a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup guy.
Luckily those weren't in there.
But so Safe Night, it's a great event. It's great for families to come down and spend some time.
It's a good family. People dress up. Kids certainly dress up. Their parents dress up. Some of the merchants are giving out candy, dress up. So it's a fun night. It's probably one of the most crowded nights I've ever seen on the streets of Old Town, having done it last year. So
it's excellent.
It's
and we're definitely carrying that forward moving on. So look for it. Since you may not make it tonight, but for next year you definitely will.
Yes. And next year we'll expand on Safe Night.
Yeah. So give me some of your thoughts that you were sharing.
So I'd like to see Safe Night expanded and maybe rebranded into more of a harvest theme. It will still be trick-or-treating, I expect, but we'd like to, we're at least talking about different activities like scarecrow decorating contests and apple bobbing maybe, or dunk tanks, and just more harvest themed
I'm not
activities.
Sitting on the dunk tank.
I'm not either, but at least Jim. I don't look good with wet hair. No kidding.
Lots of fun.
Something, make it bigger and more expansive, so that more people, not just parents and trick-or-treaters, but more community involvement.
Right. And so then the next big event that will happen downtown is Walking on Main, but that's more of a city event.
City-sponsored,
but
but we get to showcase it, which is fun.
That's excellent. So tell us a little bit about Walking on Main. What's that kind of all about?
Walking on Main is a great event because it's both classic car show, art fair.
Right.
We're
Wine
gonna have
tasting.
wine tasting. There's going to be different restaurants serving food there.
Right.
We're serving our smoked brisket and pulled pork sliders.
Excellent.
And I know that there's other restaurants doing great things down there too. And
So the chamber's supposed to have a booth there with about information about the wine trail and everything. So I'm definitely going to have to make my way
Perfect.
down to the other end and
Yeah.
It's a
try
really
some
fun
food.
street fair.
It's a
Yeah,
great
you can
street
meet
fair.
people
Great.
from businesses, in Old Town, and the city and the chamber will have booths there, local
yeah.
folks.
they'll have booths there too.
Great.
Yes.
That's excellent. So Walking
It's
on
a
Main is a
busy
fun one.
event.
That's Saturday,
Yeah.
November 10th
Yes.
coming up.
November
so
10th,
keep
yes.
mark your calendars for that one. And then towards the end of November, we have a pretty exciting event, which is
We have the Triple Crown of Cottonwood Christmas events, I think.
right, all
I
within
like
that
that.
weekend,
It's the-
right?
It's a horse theme.
like
I
it.
like that.
We're going to have to use that. That's a great marketing Triple Crown.
Yes.
Friday night, the 30th, is the VIP chocolate walk, and
Right.
then the next day is the Christmas parade.
Correct.
And that evening of the next afternoon of the next day is the chocolate walk.
Right,
So
right.
VIP chocolate walk parade and the chocolate walk.
Right. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit more about the VIP chocolate
So
experience.
the
So-
VIP chocolate walk, there's 8 merchants participating. What's that? It's kind of a wine pairing and chocolate event. It's a little more intimate event.
Yeah.
There's ticket sales
limited
are
amount,
to 75
right,
people.
right.
They're $30 a ticket, available on oldtown.org, or you
Right.
can pick tickets up at the Chamber
Right.
of Commerce starting
Hopefully next week,
November
right,
4th.
right.
It's the people participating are 101 Winery, I wrote my list down. And
That's okay.
I lost it. There it is.
There it
Three
is.
Kings
Right?
on
Epiphany.
Yep.
Right.
Arizona Stronghold.
Right.
Burning Tree Cellars, Colt Grill, Merkin, Small Batch Winery, State Bar, and Winery
Right.
101.
Nice.
So
So folks come in, they check in with you. What do they get? How do they go about
They
this?
get
So
a taste of alcoholic beverage,
Right.
usually wine, and
they
a
get
chocolate.
a special
Yes.
glass, don't
yes,
they?
they get
too?
a special signature glass that are beautiful this year. So
Yeah.
that alone should compel people to
I
come.
know, right? That's worth it.
right there.
Yeah.
And you get to come in with your glass
Yeah.
and actually make contact with the wine, either the brewmaster or the winemaker or someone
Right.
who is hosting that event, and they get to speak with you a little bit.
That's
It's only
excellent.
75 people, so it's a little more intimate, face
Right,
to
it's
face.
nice, yeah.
Yeah, rather than just
So you
walk
get
in,
some
get a sip,
excellent
walk.
chocolate and some
And hospitality.
wonderful
It's
wine
like a-
and hospitality.
Yeah.
It's almost like a speed dating for the
Yeah.
wineries in
Nice.
Old Town.
I like
you get to spend some
That could be another
It's
potential
not
event,
speed
right?
dating. It's slow and intimate.
I like it. So then that leads into the chamber does this year's our 64th annual Christmas parade, and that
Yes.
runs. It's at 11 a.m. Runs down Main Street, comes down Cherry from the
So
fairgrounds, and then into Main Street and right down into Old Town Cottonwood.
Yep.
It ends at Cactus Street there. And
I got to
then-
say, I came upon it. I didn't realize there was a Christmas parade. I was driving and I
Yeah.
saw it last year. It's a hoot. It's a fun
Right.
parade.
It
It's a lot
is.
of participation.
It is. We get the whole streets are
Yep.
lined up with people come from all
Yes.
over, and 64 years. Can you imagine?
I
We've
think
been
that's
doing that.
such a great tradition.
It's fun.
It just
It's
parades
fun.
I love parades.
Yeah.
And who doesn't love a
Who-
parade?
you love a
I
parade.
mean, even if you're at Frankie Space that day, you got to come down and see
Right,
the parade
right.
and have some chocolate.
So then that evening then is the chocolate walk itself, right? And so
Yes.
how's that work?
Yeah.
That is, I'm going to guess about 40 merchants are participating. That's limited to 400 tickets, so that's a bigger crowd.
Right.
People who buy a ticket can stop at each merchant. It's that night from, what time is it? Doesn't say it on the poster.
It's right here.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
3 to
3 to
7
7.
p.m.
3 to 7.
Tickets
so.
are $25, also available
Right.
at oldtown.org or at
Or
the
the
Chamber
Cottonwood
starting
Chamber
November
office,
4th. You'll get an individually wrapped chocolate from each of the participants, so you can go down the street, and it's another kind of fun way to see all the businesses at least briefly and get some chocolate and maybe bring the kids. And
Right. And Old Town is usually all decked out with lights and everything.
Yes, well,
Yes.
thank you
It's
for reminding me.
Beautiful.
Yes,
right?
decorating contest.
There's a decorating
Yeah.
contest, so
Yes.
that the Old Town will be very festive. I
Right.
think a lot
Oh,
of the merchants
bedecked
will be
and
decorating,
bedazzled.
decorated in
Yes.
various holiday lights and
Nice.
decorations.
It's
and
just so
whatever.
fun. You
It
know,
is.
there's just to sip and stroll down Old Town Cottonwood. I mean,
Right.
it's such a great tradition.
So let's take another quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the chocolate walk and more events that we have got coming up.
Great.
All right, great. Thank you. Come back and see us real quick.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
There are people who struggle with addiction and homelessness. Sometimes it may feel like there is nothing we can do to help.
But there is. You can make a tax-deductible donation and help those in need transition away from homelessness. When you give someone a handout, you could actually be supporting an addiction.
A better life starts with better health, especially for those living in the streets.
Support solutions, not addictions. You can make a difference. Visit cottonwoodcares.com.
Welcome back to Rediscover the Verde Valley. Again, I'm Christian Oliva Del Rio, Cottonwood Chamber of Commerce, and with me is Brenda Clouston and Jim Mariola with the Old Town Association. And so we were just having so much fun with the chocolate walk and getting festive already.
Yes.
So some of the other events that you guys do down there, is that the main?
Well, there's a lot of the individual businesses are doing events as well. Those are the main ones that we spoke about already, but there are going to be new events coming up in the spring, so we really want people to pay attention to the website.
Right.
And
the Facebook page, right?
And the Facebook page, yes.
So
all those people are into Facebook.
Right.
At Cottonwood OTA is the Facebook handle.
Okay, right.
For Facebook.
Correct. And or facebook.com/Cottonwood OTA.
Yes.
Right. So some of they do like an art walk, I think?
Yes, so there's Saturday, what is that?
Yes.
I'm not as familiar with art walk as you are.
Art walk is the second
Saturday art walk.
When
I
it's
think
happening.
that's what it is,
in Old
right.
Town,
Yes.
and a lot of the merchants remain open.
Yeah.
A lot of them, a lot of the places have art. They're stores, but it's really artists' goods being sold. So a lot of merchants open for the art walk. Plus, some places have artists display their artwork just for that night.
Right.
So that's kind of a fun event that gets people out once a month.
Yeah.
Everybody can see each other. There's places to drink, places to eat.
Right. And so another neat thing that happens down in Old Town is the old house tour, or
the historic house tour,
right?
Yeah.
That happens down.
Yeah.
There's so much history down there, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
some of the history of Old Town itself was an old bootlegger town, and there's still tunnels and things, right?
Yeah.
That's
so
annually. That's coming up this Saturday.
Right.
Which after I guess by
it's
the time
in
you see
conjunction with the
Saturday,
Zeke Tyler barbecue. I think they do the same.
Okay.
It's on the same day, and they do some things there. So that's another.
I did that last year. That's a really fun event. It's
Yeah.
I think tickets were $20 or something to see maybe 8. It's different houses every year. I didn't know there was like cows in Old Town, but there's there's the ranches over there by
Says
the
the
river.
city boy. There's cows in Old Town.
One of the houses was an old dairy kind of house,
That's
which
neat.
is now residential. But they still have cows, so I'm not sure how residential it is.
But there are a lot of events in Old Town that aren't official Old Town events that are on the Facebook page and that are on the website.
Right.
Different businesses having events.
So we definitely want to stress that. So please check out the calendar events at oldtown.org, as well as the Facebook. You're always posting. That's going to be the more current type thing happening right now.
And Old Town is just an awesome place to come hang out, right?
It is. It's just a cool place. So
these events, all try to bring more people into town and create more awareness of Old Town, but any day, any evening, there's things to do.
It's just great to just stroll, walk.
We have the jail trail that people should take advantage of, because you can stroll down Old Town and then jump on the jail trail and meander along the river and get your exercise and come back up and drink beer.
And I know that the city's working on a lot of different, the trailheads they're working on.
They're doing a great job.
So
all beautiful signage.
Old Town itself is a destination, and that's the chamber has always promoted it as such. So it makes a lot of sense for us to have this partnership that we're doing. We have a lot of the same goals in mind, and wanting to bring people here and share our hospitality with them, right? So let's give another little recap on the chocolate walk. So that will be December
the afternoon and evening of December 1st.
December 1st is the VIP is November 30th, right? And you can find out all of this information on oldtown.org, as well as the Facebook page, Cottonwood OTA, and you know, we've kind of run out of time already, and
we were having so much fun.
I know, right? So we'll wrap it up, and I guarantee you that both of you will be back, and we'll be talking about a lot of the more great things that the OTA is doing. And again, I thank you for your commitment to our community.
Okay, hope everybody comes to Old Town.
Yeah, definitely. Check them out, and see us next month. Thank you.